Hello, and welcome back to another episode, another turn of the wheel, the wheel of time. You might say, "Who? Get out of here, creature!" You know, he only heard me because I was jumping around, trying to sync everything up. No, I've not recorded for a few days. Because I was trying to figure out how I'm gonna do this episode, but I think I know what we're gonna do. Oh, Wheel of Time. The Wheel of Time turns. Ages come and pass, leaving memories that become legend. Legend fades to myth, and even myth is long forgotten when the age that gave it birth comes again. Which way do I want to go? Oh, I don't remember what comes after that bit. By the way, something like, the wind was not the beginning. Well, there are no beginnings in the Wheel of Time. And there are no endings. But it was a beginning. So it is with this video. It's not the beginning of the Let's Play. It's not the end of the Let's Play, but it is a beginning. Now, unlike the Wheel of Time, my Let's Plays do have a beginning and an end. Otherwise, that would be very difficult for me. Hey. Again, I think I mentioned it in an early episode. There's many places in the DLC that feel like not mirrors, but reflections, maybe. Echoes of areas from the main game, like this one. Doesn't this remind you of the area in Liurnia? Like, down there is where you would fight the Red Wolf of Raid Aegon. Did you know that's actually how it's pronounced? Some people go, oh, it's Radagon. No, it's Raid Aegon. I faxed Miyazaki, and he said, yep, that's right. That does get me remembering a topic. Also, that kind of that looks like a Marika from back there. Just, I mean, obviously it's not Marika, but just the shape of the, you know, it's like you can say, oh, that's her head, that's her arms and stuff. Probably just a coincidence, but it's funny. Yeah, why are all these people here, do you think? If these are all... These are all shaman. You think, what, they were just freed from the jail or something and, like, let to just chill here? Suffer in peace, so to speak. Disgusting either way. But yeah, no, it gets me thinking. I was having a discussion with someone. No, what do you consider canon for, like, Souls game? See, for me, there are tiers of canon. I like when I press roll and my character just doesn't roll, but whatever. For example, for me, I'd say it's split into 3 parts. You have the game, which is the first tier of canon. Like, that's the most canon. Then you have developer interviews, or other, like, you know, just words from the words from developers. Man, this one's like the super shaman. Some say it's Marika herself. Nah. Is this like people from the parts? They try to extricate them and they just can't. Yeah, so game, developers, and then official merchandise. So an example, for Dark Souls 3, the game is the first tier of canon. Interviews and anything the developer said is second. Third is merchandise, like guides, comics, things like that. You know? That's the way I look at it. Could be different for other people, but because sometimes they will contradict each other. And sometimes official merchandise, which, yes, it's official, but it does stuff which is like, For example, Dark Souls 3 has a comic with Aldrich in. And for some reason, in that comic, Aldrich is like some sort of like voodoo cannibal witch doctor looking guy. Like, you know, like a Nazebo from, Diablo, Heroes of the Storm, whatever. It's like that, and I think that's so stupid. It's like whoever wrote or drew that comic was like, all they heard about Aldrich was one word, cannibal, and they're like, ah, so you're saying he's like a loincloth wearing deep jungle witch doctor. It's like, no, I'm pretty sure that's not what Aldrich is meant to be in the game. So no, I don't really consider that a... Well, I mean, yes, in a sense it's canon because it's official merchandise, but I'm not gonna say that's what Aldrich is. Look, door. Small door. Oh. This part. I've got to use my head and think. But no, like, I'm not gonna consider that what Aldrich is meant to be like, because it's stupid and doesn't make sense with the game. The reason I bring this up is because a couple of weeks ago, I mean, probably a couple of months ago for, like, you listening to this, I don't know, I think it was in my Strongest Souls Lady video, maybe. I was talking about Maiden in Black. We don't know much about Maiden in Black. Oh. The Demon Souls tells us... there's a line in Demon Souls where it says something like, she was once one of the most powerful demons. She's like the oldest and one of the most powerful. Something like that, you know? Ah. Fire! Let me grab it. Okay, now, because of that, we're gonna mount up for the rest of this. Here we go. Mr. Salzer over here. Is it Salzer? Salazar? It's something like that. He's like, oh, look at me, I'm making it rain. It's gonna rain something else momentarily here, buddy. Take that. Take this too. Interesting. What damaged me just before the game froze momentarily? Did like the good old shader stutter or whatever? Was it him sidestepping? Sure. Whatever. Yeah, and someone left a comment saying like, oh, the Maiden in Black is actually stronger than the old one. And I was like, oh, where's that from? Initially they thought it was from a developer interview. Okay. Cool. Then later on they found a picture. It was from the Demon Souls official strategy guide, where there is a line that says something along the lines of, and at the end of the game, the Maiden in Black can lull the old one into a slumber. This means she is much stronger than it. And I'm like, no. And we'll get back to that topic in a moment, but man, this area, what a cool looking area, but also, man, this area sucks. There's virtually nothing here. So, for the most part, like, I'm gonna run through here, because there's a couple of things that I do want to include, but for the most part, this area is a big lot of nothing emptiness. But we'll do a few bits, but there might be a bit of jumping around now. Just fair warning. It's a shame, this area is one of the coolest looking ones in the whole game, I think. It just kind of sucks. There's just not all that much going on here. But yeah, no, they were saying about how, oh, it's on the official strategy guide, so it's canon. You know, FromSoft must have signed off on it. Here's the thing, though. FromSoft didn't make the strategy guide, and they probably didn't look through every single word in it and go, yep, that's right, change that. They probably had very little involvement. Maybe they provided some, like, data for it, but this line is from a random dude who wrote the strategy guide, and I don't think that makes it canon. Because if you think about it, if the Maiden in Black is stronger than the Old One, then what is the point of Demon Souls? Let me give you a quick recap of Demon Souls. Your character gathers Demon Souls. At the end of the game, the Old One essentially calls out to you and the Maiden in Black. I mean, go look at the Maiden in Black's dialogue. That's almost exactly what she says at the end of the game. She's like, "Hark! I hear a voice of yore. The Old One, he's big. He's so excited. He wanna see you, man." You go down there. Yeah, you go down there. Then either you become the new demon, ow, or you let the Maiden in Black lull it to slumber. If she could just go down there any time, why would she need you? The player wouldn't need to be there. You know? So I just don't think that makes any sense. And also, you know, the Old One seems to be the thing that created the deep fog, and the fog seems to be more or less what is making the demons. Not like, you know, they pop out of the fog, but... Hey, this is a suppressing pillar. Man, there's some great views here. Oh yeah, that douchebag, I never did kill him. But... like, you get what I'm coming from? Like, why would... It just doesn't make sense, and I think using one line from a strategy guide, which is, again, technically it's official, but it's not the best source of information for stuff like that. That's just me. If you look at that and you think, hey, that's canon to me, so now I think... Ow. That's, you know, I'm taking that as word of God. You can. Like, I'm not going to, but you can. It's kind of like how George Lucas used to do Star Wars. Oh, this grab, I hate it. George Lucas would be like, why can't I hit this hippo, for one thing? Yeah, no, George Lucas would be like, oh, well, you know, you want to make a game called Knights of the Old Republic, and there's a dude called, I don't know, Revan in it? Sure. Go for it. If 2 years down the line I want to make some Star Wars thing and have a dude called Revan in it, guess who's gonna be the actually canon one? It's mine. And that's just how I look at it. So... official strategy guides, I don't think those are exactly a great source of lore information, unless the lore is directly like a quote from the developer. And sometimes the developers will kind of contradict what's in the game. Dark Souls 2 has a developer quote which doesn't contradict the game, but it almost does. I can't remember what it is now, it's bugging me. It's something to do with, Velstart, and... Oh, I think it's, so you know, Rauh, the Fume Knight? So the developers had a... Oh, I remember this bit. Also, we're going to teleport back up, because I think there's nothing else here. Oh, yeah, the developers have an interview somewhere for the second DLC for Dark Souls 2 where they say something along the lines of, yeah, Raim is dead and being controlled by Nadalia. It might not be that exactly. Again, it's been like 10 years, so I might be misremembering. But they have something more or less like that, which doesn't directly contradict the game. Why am I going up here? But it does... There should really be something up there. Anyway. But it's something that you could say is, in a way, contradictory to the game, because in the game, it isn't really clear. And the Dark Souls 2 strategy guide, I'm pretty sure, just makes up some lore here and there too. Which you can definitely use it as reference material. But if it contradicts the game, like that Demon Souls quote absolutely does in my opinion, then I think we go with the higher tier of canon, in this case, the game. Smashing. There's, well, another interesting one, similar topic. Nameless Usurper, Lister of Lindau. Back in the day, I made a video saying, well, Lycia can't be the Nameless Usurper, because if you kill Lycia, you still get invaded by Nameless Usurper. Which doesn't make sense. You can kill an invader and their body will still be there. If you kill their real body, they can't invade you because they are dead. And she broke that rule. Ergo, couldn't have been the same person. However, later on, they patched it, so if you killed Lycia, Nameless Usurper would not invade. And following that, I was like, okay, sure. I got zero problems with it now, you know? Ugh. Disgusting! But, oh man, it's an ordeal sometimes, I tell you what. Because in my opinion, part of the thing... hidden... Oh, it's the Bond Stone. Now I can be James Bond. Yeah, no, anyway. What is the Bond Stone? Reusable. What does that do? What? I don't know what that did, but whatever. Yeah, Dark Souls lore is just one of those things. It's hard to get a consensus because things are intentionally vague. But you know, that's... part of that's fun. Other parts of it are upsetting. Because some people take that to mean, well, the lore is vague, that means I can say anything. Like, Godwyn is Solaire. I'm sorry, shouldn't that guy have had something better than that? I thought these pot dudes in here had some revered spirit stuff. Anyway. Anyway. Bees. Bees. Yeah, you know what I mean? Godwyn uses lightning, Solaire uses lightning. We never saw them in the same room at the same time. How are you gonna tell me that Godwyn isn't Solaire, homie? Like, that's like the sort of arguments that some people bring out now and then, and it's like, just shouldn't engage with it, because it never goes anywhere. A lot of people are too stubborn to ever change their minds, opinions, whatever. I hate these fly men. I hate it when they just spam their grab attack. It's like, what are you, playing a fighting game? Enough of you. Stanky. Nah, well, we're almost at that one bit. But yeah, I'll more... Sure. I'll run around a bit more off camera to find the things that are actually important here. Like, I'm sure there is another Shadow Blessing or a thing from a pot dude. But it's the eternal struggle with Dark Souls lore. Like, things I do like to discuss are things like what's happened to Godwyn? What can be done to prevent it? What will happen if nothing is done? Like, if we just leave it how it is now, is it going to keep getting worse? Like, what's going to happen there? That's the sort of thing I would have a good time talking about. When it's, oh, is that Radahn and Margit in the intro? I hate having that argument, because the arguments for it being Radahn are so full of circular logic and just confirmation bias that it just goes around in a circle. Because unless they come out with, like, the guy who made that picture and says, yep, that's Radahn, I just decided for no reason that he's going to be here, even though it makes no sense and contradicts many other things in the game. And if that happens, I'll go, sure, alright, it's Radahn then. Until that happens, nope. And it's not even a discussion. Because the points are too damning, and it's like, really worries me that some people try and argue this. Because it's like, please never become a lawyer or get into any sort of trouble, because you will go to jail for 1,000,000 years. It's like, if you go, I don't know, you're in court because someone says you robbed their store, and they have you on CCTV, and you say, well, it can't be me, because look, I'm wearing a white shirt, and the guy in the video is wearing black shirt. That's evidence. That's all the evidence you need, you utter buffoon. And the judge would go, what? No, you're going to prison now. We found the sealing tree just ahead. Ah, well, too bad, it's my sealing tree now. Speaking of, we have a very interesting enemy over here. Something, again, this is another thing I actually do enjoy talking about. The Crucible. What is the Crucible? And is it found near here? Here we have a Crucible Knight. I believe this one is meant to be one of the oldest ones. Oh, you just got smacked in the butt. Uh-oh, come on. Oh, yes. You were spinning. It was a good spin. Oh, this sucks. What was happening? Horse. What are you, Kirin? Oh, I had a time for another one. Devonia. Ah, that was her name. Longest serving of the Crucible Knights. She quested in search of the Crucible's origin. See, that kind of sounds like... If she quested in search of it, does that mean she didn't know where it was? Kind of makes you think, you know, knights and questing. Does that mean it's like the Holy Grail? You know, that's the thing that knights would go and quest for. Oh no, I forgot. Oh, the turd over here. Oh, this dingus. This douchebag. He's like, oh, you think you have a frame rate? Wrong. That's a cool attack, though. I don't like that it's tanked my frame rate, but it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool attack. What are you doing? No. Disgusting furnace creature, get out of my sight. Can I have a frame rate back now? Nope, still not. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous. But we're almost done with this area. Again, missed things, but that's because they're all kind of tucked away into nooks and crannies. We are doing good time for the way I want to do the thing that I am doing. Oh, yay. Only 3 levels left in each to go. Da-da-da-da. Or da-da-da-da. I don't know. Some vigor, why not? Man, what was I even talking about? I forget. I guess it was lore. The frustrations of discussing lore at times. I guess at the end of the day you can boil it down to Dark Souls lore is often open-ended, but that doesn't mean you can just say anything and have that be correct. Ah, he hit me with the pot. I just wanted this item over here, man. That's all I wanted. This is probably the longest I've ever been on a horse in an episode. Oh, man. Shiny pot. Give me shiny. No. 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 Wrong. God, creatures, terrible demons. Well, I didn't even stagger you. When are you attacking and when are you just wiggling? Man, quit dancing. No one likes you. Fool. I'll take that. Hey, another one. Oh, my horse died. There's... Oh, okay, we're here. There's like another bit with like a weird little jump somewhere. Where is that? Is that over here? I don't need to do the jump right now. What is down here? I think it's here, maybe. I do wonder how the boss is going to go here, because the only other time I fought this boss, again, it's when I was using that vine spell, which turned out to be completely busted. And, oh yeah, I think that's the jump down there. That leads... what does that lead to? I forget. But, man, the boss absolutely shredded it. Oh, this isn't actually where I was thinking. Oh, hello. That was pretty cool. Oh no. Oh yeah. Wow. Amazing. There's also a bit over here somewhere where... Did I get the... I don't remember if I got it on camera or not, but the, like, shadow sword, Sword of Night, whatever it's called. The other one's, like, over there somewhere. You can jump, and then you go, like, up there, and then into that definitely not Priscilla area over there. And then there's also... Oh, yeah. Which, again, I don't know if I really need to do that camera, but you can go down where that guy is a bit further, and then in there, there's another Divine Beast dancing lion, or whatever they're called. Which I'm probably not going to fight on camera, because it would just literally be me standing here sniping it for a long time. Haha. But, no, it can be done. Not very exciting. Why? Oh! Do we find his body? Because it's really weird. Usually when you kill an invader, their body would be somewhere too. But I can't remember. Yeah, this boss. I feel like I'm gonna now struggle with it, even though before I had no trouble whatsoever. Who dis? Oh, Dryleaf Dane. No thanks, Dane. I'm gonna try this without you. See how this goes. Oh, that's definitely harder when you're not blasting her with the thorns thing. I think what was getting me there was her a lot of her attacks would be so wide-reaching. It's like she would aim there and get me like the backswing of it or something. I need to fight her a few more times to figure out the ideal route, option, tactic, whatever. But we got her, that's the important part. Win's a win. Now, time to touch the tree. Burn it all away. Monumentals. Goodness, we've been warped. Yoink. I find it really funny that it warps you. But that's gonna do it for today's episode. I think all we've really got to do now is go through here, this last area. But first, we'll probably want to go down over here. Oh, yes. Well, thank you so much for watching. Next time, I don't know, descent into madness maybe? We'll see. Till then, take care. Ciao.